Anyway, alrighty, we're gonna start on our back. So when you're ready, come onto your back. And bring your arms down by your side. And just breathe. We take for granted that we are breathing all day long, that we get that opportunity. Maybe turn your feet up or out to the side, I should say. Maybe turn your palms up so you can just externally rotate your shoulders a little bit. And then we're gonna reach the arms all the way over the head. So stretch from your fingers all the way to your toes. And then we'll draw the knees into the chest. And we'll just do some gentle circles with the knees, circling to the right a couple times. And then circling back to the left. And then we'll find our feet grounded on the mat, spreading the toes nice and wide. And as you inhale, we're going to lift the hips, walk the arms underneath you, interlace the hands. Just come into a gentle, soft, beginning bridge pose. So last weekend, I attended a Dharma talk with two people that are leading my mindfulness training program. Slowly lower the hips all the way down. And then draw your knees into your chest. And we're gonna float the knees over to the right. Let your arms come in a T. Let your gaze travel over that left shoulder. And one of the topics that they talked about was the struggle that we're all collectively experiencing of this perpetual groundlessness, right? Things were shaken and they still haven't settled into any kind of true normalcy. Draw your knees back to center and over to the other side. And as humans, our brains are like predictors. We're always looking to figure out what's coming next. And we use what we know in the current moment to predict the future. And when everything is so unsettled, it's really hard to predict. And our brains don't know what to do with that. So we do a couple things. Draw your knees back to center. And let's just widen the knees out. Grab the outsides of your feet with your hands. Happy baby pose. If you want to rock a little side to side, that's fine. Massaging out the thoracic spine a little bit. So our predictors are kind of broken, right? We don't know what's coming next. Or we can't even predict, really. We never know, but we think we know, right? Draw your knees into your chest. We're gonna rock and roll all the way up and through onto our hands and knees. So coming onto your hands and knees, let's just arch and round through the spine a couple of times. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, lift. And exhale, curl and round. So what do? Well, we end up doing two different things when we're in that place where predictors can't predict, right? So we either kind of go on to into this autopilot where we just go through the motions, basically. As you exhale next time, let's curl and round all the way back to child's pose. Walk the arms forward, head down. And then we're going to take those arms and slide them over to the right. Maybe press a little bit more into the left hand than the right. And then we're gonna walk the arms all the way back through center to the left and press into that right hand a little bit. So the first one is that autopilot or trance or however you want to think about it. Bring your hands back. Come up onto your hands and knees, arch the spine. Next time you exhale and round, we're going to find downward dog. So curl the toes under, lift off the knees, press your way back to downward dog. Pedaling out through the feet. So really checking out what's going on. And then the other thing that we do is we fall back into some of our unhealthy patterns of fight, flight, freeze, right? We get a little bit more angry and fired up. Maybe we're noticing that in more conflict or tension in our relationships over this last period of time, right? Well, that comes from this instinct to fight or flight, right? Let's roll forward to plank. And holding plank here, as you inhale, you're gonna look forward. So this is a subtle movement. It's the cat, cow, and plank. So you're gonna draw the shoulder blades together, look forward as you inhale. Exhale, you're gonna just press up slightly and round. So keep the belly strong. So inhale, shoulder blades draw together, look forward. Exhale, we're gonna curl and round, belly in. Good, one more of those. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, look forward. Exhale, round a little bit through the upper back, and then lower all the way to the mat. So use your knees if you want to, of course. Good. So first we're gonna do a little baby cobra. Hands are underneath the shoulders, big toes walk towards each other, but the feet stay down. Inhale, we're gonna roll the shoulder blades together, look forward. Exhale, we're gonna lower it all the way down. And now we're gonna actually plant the forearms on the mat. So spread the fingers nice and wide, press into the hands and lift into a sphinx pose, right? So rolling the shoulder blades towards each other. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, we're gonna plant the hands, come back up through plank and exhale, downward dog. So feel free to use your knees if you want to come up that way, or press all the way up to plank and then find your way to downward dog. Good. And then we're going to walk the feet to the hands. So travel from the back of the mat to the front of the mat. And find yourself in a forward fold at the top of the mat, head hangs, shaking it. So it's this perpetual groundlessness, right? We know that exists. We know we're all living in it. And we know that the couple things we might do to counteract that are either just not deal, right? Be in our trance, or get a little bit more angry and short-tempered and frustrated than we might have before. So slowly roll yourself up. You're gonna come all the way up to standing. And then as you inhale, we're gonna bring the arms around and up. So nice of me to lay out the problem, right? We all know the problem. Exhale, forward fold. So what do we do about it? That's the question, right? Exhale. Inhale, we're gonna find our flat back here. So look forward, fingertips to the floor, hands to the shins. And then as you exhale, we're gonna step back to plank and hold our plank. Let's do one serrated push-up. So inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, look forward. Exhale, round belly in, lower all the way to the mat. Come onto the tops of the feet. Inhale, little baby cobra, just pressing softly into the hands. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, let's find our sphinx pose. So press into the forearms and the hands. Lift the chest here. Good. Now, if it's available to you, you're going to curl the toes under and press up into a dolphin plank. If that's not fun, you're going to come into a regular plank because we're all going to meet there. So Here we are in our dolphin plank. Right, we're gonna press one hand and then the other up the plank. We're then gonna find our downward dog and come into dolphin. So once again, dropping onto the floor, spreading the hands, pressing into the palms. Good. 2 more breaths here. And then lift the hand, or lift the elbows rather, and hop step, float the feet up to the hips. Good. Inhale, we're going to find our flat back. Exhale, we're going to forward fold, letting the head go. Inhale, bring the arms all the way around the neck. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, again, arms around and up, inhale. As you exhale, we're going to forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let's move all the way through planks to chaturanga. Good. Inhale, come into your high cobra this time, or upward dog, and exhale it back, downward dog. Good. So what do we do about this perpetual groundlessness, right? How do we live within this? Well, the goal is to meet our edge and soften into it. So how do we do that? Well, we know how we do that because we do that on the mat all the time. Inhale, high on the toes. Exhale, knees bend, hop, step, or float the feet to the hands. As we're starting to warm up the body here, we're meeting our edge, right? We're discovering what is tight, what is challenging us today. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, we're gonna fold, head hangs. Inhale, we're gonna sit into our chair. So come into Utkatasana chair, grounding into the heels and softening the shoulders. And then exhale, we're gonna forward fold. So what do we do, right? We discover tension in the body and we have a choice to make. Inhale, flat back. Now as you exhale, step back to your plank. We're gonna hold plank. Inhale, we're gonna draw the shoulder blades together, really subtle movement so the hips stay steady. The hips are not moving with you. Exhale, you're gonna press through the upper back and round through the belly and lower all the way to the mat. Inhale, little baby cobra, but this time maybe the legs are gonna lift, so big toes stay together. Exhale, we're gonna lower down. Inhale, press into the forearms, lift the chest into our Sphinx pose. Good. And then if it's available, you're gonna curl the toes under and press up the plank. Right? Either way, we're gonna meet in downward dog. So you decide how you get there. You want to press up into plank, we'll roll it back to downward dog. Right leg is going to lift nice and high, so flex the foot. And then we're going to bend that knee, draw to the nose, step the foot in between your hands and drop your back knee to the mat. So what do I mean by meeting our edge and softening? Bend into the knees, bring the arms all the way up to the sky. Well, what we really need to do is get in touch with what is painful. What are we trying to hide from or run from or not feel, right? And we do that on the mat. So as you soften into your Anjaneyasana, notice, are you feeling tightness somewhere? And we do that naturally. We do that. We know how to do that. And then we breathe into it. We let ourselves go a little deeper. That's what's amazing about this practice. Right fingertips are gonna wrap around left wrist. Pull that left arm up, tip it towards your bent knee, look underneath your arm up towards the sky, your left arm. Good, Tony. Nice, tall. And then as you exhale, set the hands down, curl your back toes under, lift your back knee. We're gonna meet in plank. Remember, you can skip whatever you need to, right? Exhale, chaturanga. It's not a trance when you are mindfully making the decision. Exhale, back downward dog, to consciously not do something, right? That's different than avoidance. Left leg lift, Avoidance is that autopilot. But when we mindfully choose, that is meeting our edge and softening. Bend the knee, draw towards the nose, step the foot in between your hands, drop your back knee all the way to the mat, grounding into the left foot, lifting the chest, floating the arms up, softening the shoulders. 5 full breaths here. So we're practicing, right? As we spend a little time here, we notice resistance. If we fight it, if we get mad about it, if we ignore it, it stays. The only way for it to loosen is if we soften. Left fingers wrap around right wrist. We're gonna tip towards that left knee. We're gonna gaze underneath the right arm up to the sky. Breathing here. Good. Exhale, set those hands to the mat. Curl your back toes under. We're meeting in a plank. Inhale, we're going to draw the shoulder blades together. Look forward to that little serrated push-up. Belly's drawing in. Exhale, you're going to round, curl through the upper back and lower all the way to the mat. Flatten the feet. Inhale, come into your baby cobra. If you want to add shalabhasana, lift the legs. Maybe even pop those fingers off the mat. Exhale, lower. Slide the hands. We're going to come into our Sphinx pose, roll it up. So how do we soften? Well, we have to open the heart. So we're definitely going to be opening the heart today. Heart opening practice. From here, curl the toes. If you want to, you're popping those knees up into a dolphin plank. We're going to meet up in our downward dog. So you decide what is of service for you today. 5 breaths in your downward dog. If you need a child's pose, please take it. And inhale, come high on the toes. Exhale, bend your knees, hop, step, or float the feet to the hands. Good. Inhale, nice flat back. Exhale, we're gonna forward fold. Inhale, we're sitting in our chair. So back in Utkatasana, grounding into the heels, lifting the chest, softening the shoulders. And then as you exhale, it's forward fold. Inhale brings you to a flat back. Exhale moves you through your vinyasa, whatever that is for you, right? It's giving you options so far. Feel free to take any of those or skip them all. Good. 5 breaths here. So in this Dharma talk, Talbach was talking about this story of this little boy who was diagnosed with melanoma. Plant the left foot, step the right foot forward. So we're going to come to warrior 1. Inhale. And the family had been through a lot of suffering already. The father had cancer as well. It was just a very unfortunate situation. And let's open to warrior 2 now. Good. So press into the outer edge of the back foot. Soften into the resistance of your right knee. Navel draws in. And then you're going to bring the arms up and over the head. Straighten the right leg, parallel the feet. And then as you exhale, we're going to interlace the hands behind the back and fold forward. So let the head hang. If you need to keep a bend in the knees, that's okay. Bringing the arms off the back. And so the son said to the dad, well, you know, in the book Where the Wild Things Are, how the only way to fight against the wild things, or tame them, I should say, is by staring into their yellow eyes without blinking. So what the little boy was saying is that you have to face your demons, right? And sometimes they're not as scary. Maybe they can be tamed. Bring your hands down, walk them to the inside of your left foot towards the back of your mat and bend your left knee. You're getting into a bit of a lunge. If you want Skandasana, feel free to lift the right toes, bring your hands to your heart, right? You decide, this is your practice. And then we're gonna shift forward inside the right foot, lifting the left toes if you want, if it's available. So how do we face, when we face our fears, when we live meeting that edge with compassion, we can learn a lot about how to move forward, how to live more truthfully. So we're gonna transition into a lizard pose at the top of the mat. If you wanna drop your back knee, go ahead. If you wanna come on your forearms, go ahead. Let your right knee draw in towards your shoulder. Keep the belly nice and strong. 2 more breaths here. Okay, so now if it's possible, you're gonna curl the left toes under and lift the left knee. And we're gonna find our way back into that dolphin plank. So however you wanna transition there, walking the foot back if that's an option, coming through plank first. And the ultimate place we're gonna end up for now is dolphin. So the hips lift. So if you'd like to go through downward dog to dolphin, that's fine too. And let's press the left heel down towards the mat and lift the right leg up towards the sky. And then set the right foot down. We'll lift the left leg up. Good. Lower the left leg, and now we're going to transition right back into our downward dog. So one elbow at a time, lift, head shakes out. So plant the right foot and step the left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale the arms up. Right, wrapping the right hip forward, bending into the front knee, belly strong, arms reach up. And then as you exhale, it's going to be warrior two. Left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, we're going to straighten, parallel the left foot to the right, arms up. Exhale, swing the hands behind, try the alternate spreading of the hands. Look up and we'll fold forward. Breathing into the shoulders. As you exhale, float the hands all the way towards your right, inside of your right foot. You're going to bend the right knee. So we're in that lunge. You're either pressing into the outer edge of your left foot or you're lifting those toes up. So it's up to you. And then we'll do the same thing coming to the front of the mat. Right, so it's either your runner's lunge or it's Skandasana. Hands might come to your heart. Good, Tony. And then we're going to walk it all the way forward so we're in our lizard pose, right? So both hands are on the inside of the left foot. You can drop your back knee. You can come onto your forearms. Squeezing your left knee in towards your midline. Good. Okay. So options from here. You can, we're meeting in downward dog and then we're going to come to dolphin. So the way we've been playing with it is lifting the right knee, floating the left leg back through your dolphin plank, and then walking up into dolphin. But that's not the only way, right? So we're going to meet our edge wherever that is, and then we're going to soften into it. That's compassion. That's the only way forward. So lift the right leg up. Again, we're gonna come into three-legged dolphin if you want it. And then lower the right foot down and lift the left. And then lower the left leg down and press off your elbows into your downward dog. Inhale high on the toes. Exhale, we're going to bend the knees. Hop, step, or float the feet to the hands. Inhale, we're going to find our flat back here. And exhale, we're going to fold. Good. Inhale, we're going to sit into our chair. So come into Utkatasana. And then exhale, forward fold. So we get to choose how we live with what is, right? Inhale, flat back, just like we do on the mat. Exhale, float through plank to chaturanga. Inhale, maybe a high cobra or upward dog. Exhale, back downward dog. So, you know, we have our environment in our body, right? We can choose. We could choose to not show up on our mats at all, right? Avoidance. We could just choose, like, I don't want to deal. We could be really angry and frustrated about what we feel in the body. That's that fight, flight, right? Or we can meet our edge and soften. So what choice do we have, really, right? The other two options are not serving us. Inhale, you're going to lift the right leg nice and high all the way up. And then as you exhale, you're going to bend that right knee and draw it towards your nose and step the foot in between your hands. We're coming into our high crescent lunge. So inner thighs roll in, arms reach up. Shoulders are going to soften here. But we do get to choose, and that's where we sometimes forget. We don't get to choose what's happening in the whole world, but we get to choose how we're going to live within it. Right? Reach the arms forward. So we're going to be in this nice diagonal right now. Long diagonal stretch from your fingers all the way to that back heel. And then as you press into your right leg, we're going to come into a warrior three. All right, so warrior three. And if you can, you're going to pull the left leg. So you're going to squeeze the buttocks and pull a couple times. We're just going to strengthen those hamstrings and glutes a little bit. Good. Last one. Inhale, squeeze it up. And then we're going to windmill open to warrior two. Or exhale, sorry. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale, palms turn up. We're going to reverse. And then exhale, we're going to bring that right forearm down to the right thigh. Left arm's going to reach up and over. If you want to do a couple circles, feel free. Circling it around. Bending into that right knee. Good. Pressing all the way from the outer edge of that back foot into those fingertips. As you exhale, we're going to look down. You're going to bring your right hand to the floor in front of the foot. We're on a block, and we're going to come into half moon. So spring off the left leg and into the right. Left arm floats up, left leg floats up. So part of this heart opening practice is to really connect to these expressive opening poses like half moon. So let that left leg float as if you're trying to close a door that's just out of your reach. And then that left hand is going to come down. The left hip is going to tuck in towards the right hip. So you're in a standing split here with your head hanging. Breathe here. And then bend your right knee, set your left toes long behind you. Come on up. We're in our lunge one more time. And exhale, set the hands to the mat. Inhale, step to your plank. You decide how you get back to downward dog. Lots of different options we've got today. Finding your way back. Softening the shoulders. Good. All right. Second side, so left leg is gonna lift, inhale. As you exhale, bend the knee, draw to the nose, step the foot in between the hands. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other, draw the navel in. We're gonna float it up into our high lunge. Shoulders soften, right? So we're meeting our edge and then we're softening. We do it all the time on the mat. This is practice and preparation for our true mindfulness practice out there. We're gonna hinge forward, nice 45-degree line, one long line from your index finger all the way to that outer back heel. 2 more breaths. And then we're gonna float into warrior 3, right? And we're gonna play with those pulses. So as you ground into the left leg, you're pulsing the right buttock, lifting the leg, getting into those glutes and hamstrings. One more pulse, squeeze, bend the left knee rather, float it open to warrior 2. Inhale, palms flip up. Let's reverse the warrior here. And then as you exhale, left forearm to left thigh, right arm reaches up. Let's just circle that arm a couple times. Full range in your rotator cuff. Then next time, we're gonna float it over the ear. Right, look up to the sky. And then let's move into our half moon now. So left hand's gonna come down to the floor or block in front of left foot. Right leg is gonna lift, right arm's gonna lift, right leg is gonna try to close that door that's just out of your reach. Good. 2 more breaths here. And then we're gonna bring that top hand down and we're gonna find our standing split, right? So right hip's gonna roll in towards left, head's gonna hang. Gonna breathe here. And then we're gonna step it back up into our high lunge. So arms reach up, inhale. Exhale, hands come to the mat. We're gonna meet in downward dog. So you decide how you get there. Using the breath. Okay, so we do that whole thing a little faster now. Inhale, lift the right leg nice and high. Exhale, bend the knee, draw it to the nose, step the foot in between the hands, lift up into your high lunge. As you exhale, we're gonna find that diagonal line forward. And then inhale, lift the left leg and pulse 3 times, pulsing. Next time you exhale, we're gonna windmill open to warrior 2. Palms turn up, let's reverse the warrior, look up to the sky. And then as you come into Parsva this time, left arm's gonna wrap around your right. Maybe you're gonna find a grab of that inner thigh. Maybe not, maybe the hand rests right on your back. Look up to the sky, belly in. And then we're gonna float into half moon. So you can decide if you wanna keep this wrap or not. Totally up to you. Right hand down, left leg up. And then another option is to bend the lifted knee and see if you can grab the foot with the hand. All right, so we're going to kick that foot into the hand. So we're actually using our quads and our hip flexors to kick that foot into the hand, and then options here for coming up. You can come up to tree, or you can come up to dancers, right? So we're gonna meet in tree, so feel free to go right to tree. And then if you're in your dancers, we'll transition once again into tree, left foot into right thigh, hands to the heart. When you're ready, if you're ready, arms reach up. Let's bring that knee forward. Let's step the right leg, or sorry, left leg all the way back. So we're in our lunge. And then we're gonna lower this left knee all the way to the mat. Good. Hands are gonna, I'm just gonna switch directions here. Hands are gonna come to the heart, but we're gonna make a fist with the left hand. And we're gonna tuck the left elbow outside the right knee. And then we're gonna wrap the right hand on top of the left fist. All right, so we're getting nice and deep into the twist. We haven't done a ton of twisting today, so we're gonna make this one really count. So as you inhale, make that connection with the elbow to the knee. As you exhale, draw your gaze up to the sky, keep your belly strong. If you want more, feel free to lift the back knee up, squeezing the left buttocks, just like you did when you were pulsing the leg. Good, and exhale, hands are gonna come to the mat. We're gonna meet in downward dog. So you decide how you get there. If you wanna throw in any kind of an arm balance, anything you want, go for it. We're gonna meet in downward dog. So we have choices, right? We can turn away from the yellow-eyed monster. We can run in the other direction. We can pretend it's not there. But what if we just stare at it without blinking? Perhaps we're gonna tame it a little bit. Left leg's gonna lift nice and high, inhale. As you exhale, step the foot in between your hands. Inhale the arms all the way up, high lunge. Good. As you exhale, we're going to come forward, that long diagonal line. And then inhale right into our warrior three. Just 3 pulses of that right leg, squeezing the buttocks. And then we're going to windmill open to warrior two. Turn the palms up, reverse the warrior. And then bring the left forearm to the left side, right arm reaches up. If you want to, you're exploring that half bind, either the hand rests on your middle back or your hand tucks around, look up to the sky. Good. Options from here as you move into your half moon, left hand can come to the floor in front of the left foot. You can hold on to that bind if you'd like. Right, we're exploring here. And then maybe we're gonna release the arm, bend the knee, grab the foot with the hand if you want to in your half moon. And then we're gonna come on up into our dancers. Remember, we're meeting in tree. So if you want to go right to tree, that's cool too. If you're in dancers, transition that right foot into the left thigh, hands to the heart. When you're ready, arms all the way up. Good. Let's bring the knee forward and step it all the way behind us into our lunge. Arms up, but this time we drop the right knee down. Good. So we're going to come into that nice juicy twist. So right hand is going to make a fist. Right elbow is going to tuck outside left knee. Left hand is going to wrap around the fist. So the fist is pressing into the hand's pressing into the fist. You're going to squeeze that left buttock. No, right buttock, sorry. Just like you did in your warrior three. Gazing up to the sky, drawing the belly in. If you want to, you're curling those toes under, lifting that back knee, squeezing a little more. Using the breath to meet your edge and then to soften. And we're gonna exhale, bring your hands all the way down to the mat. We're gonna meet in downward dog. So again, you decide how you get there, right? Totally up to you. And just take a few breaths here. So if you need a rest, please feel free to take it. Good. And we're gonna roll all the way forward to plank now. And you're gonna lower into your belly. So first we're gonna come back to our Shalabhasana. Chin's gonna tuck into the chest. As you inhale, lift the legs, roll your shoulder blades together, lift the chest, right? Bend the gaze, maybe hands hover. And then exhale, lower that all the way down. Let's bring the left ear to the mat. Let's float the arms down by your side. Let's wiggle out your hips. All right, chin's gonna come back into the chest. And this time, arms are gonna reach forward, palms face each other. As you inhale, we're gonna lift legs, and then chest, and then chin, arms reach out, forward. And then bring the arms out like airplane wings. We're gonna lift the heart, and then interlace the hands behind your back, roll your shoulder blades together, gaze forward. And we're gonna lower that all the way down, right ear to the mat this time, wiggle out the hips. Okay. Bring your chin back into your chest. Bend your knees, we're gonna grab the feet with the hands. So just take a look at your space where you are. Make sure you just have a little space on either side of your mat because we're gonna come into side Dhanurasana. You're like, what is that? Well, I'm gonna show you. So as you inhale, you're gonna kick the legs all the way up, lift the chest, right? And then you're gonna roll onto your left side. We're lifting the heart towards the sky. I told you it was gonna be heart opening practice today. So here we are. And then the funnest part is coming back. So as you inhale, you're gonna come back to center, kick the legs up again, and exhale, roll into the right side with your chest angling up towards the sky. And then make your way back, kick those legs up one more time. And then lower all of that down. We're gonna come to a wide-legged child's pose. So knees to the edges of the mat, big toes touch, hips back to the heels, head comes down, breathe. Softening into the spine. Okay, so then touching back up, just sit on your heels for a moment. So the goal is to get a little deeper into the heart today. So there's lots of ways to do that. You can do that on your back in your bridge poses or your Urdhva Dhanurasana, but I was going to give you another option today. And that's going to require you being near a wall, so that may not work for you. I'm going to move, like trying to think about which wall I should use. I'm going to move you guys. You're going to come with me. Hold on. All right, so you're going to come here, and then I'm going to move my mat, and I'm going to show you what my idea was, right? So the idea is to work into forearm stand using the wall. So usually when we do forearm stand, which is basically handstand on your forearm, we're trying to get straight up. But for the purposes of today, we're going to play with an arched back, right? So it's a heart opener. So what does that look like? I'm going to show you how you do that. So you're going to set up perpendicular to your wall. You're going to come back into that dolphin pose like we've been doing, right? With the forearms down. So I'm just showing it to you this way. I'm thinking I'm going to move you guys one more time. So remember, you could be doing bridge, Urdhva, any kind of finishing pose you want. Or here, let's see, because I want you to see it from the side. Yeah, that's probably going to be the best. Okay, so now you're going to use the wall. You're going to come a little bit far away from the wall because you want the arch of the spine. Coming into your dolphin, and maybe you're just going to play one leg and then the other, right? If you want to kick up, now notice how arched my back is, right? My feet are planted on the wall, and I'm pressing my chest forward and my belly's in. So this is a beautiful back bend, right? We're getting so open in the chest, really working in spinal extension. Okay, if you want to bend the knees, come onto the tops of the feet, you're working toward, what is this called again? I forgot. Somebody will remember, but I can't right now remember. But anyway, that's the idea. If you're not digging the wall work, all good. Remember, you're on your back and you're working into a couple of bridge poses, maybe an Urdhva Dhanurasana, and we're going to meet back in just a moment, and we'll do a little bit of hip opening on the back, on our back. All right. So, taking your time. It's playtime. It's your playtime. You're going to explore what serves you. So whenever you're ready, and everybody's on their own little playtime schedule right now, you're going to bend the knees and bring both knees into your chest. You'll take the right ankle and bring it to the left thigh. You'll thread the hands underneath the left thigh and flex both feet and draw that whole thing into your chest, right? Breathing here. If you want more in your pigeon pose, or sorry, in your hip opening pose, which is a misnomer because there's so many muscles in the hip, but you know what I mean, outer hip stretching, then you can take your left hand to your knee and your right hand to, I can't talk, left hand to foot, right hand to knee, or you can cradle the knee in, right? And then this left leg is still straight up to the sky, or it's bent. And then the last piece is you could lower it all the way down, right? So you decide. It works. And then from here, wherever you are, you're going to straighten the left leg and take this right knee and draw it all the way across into your spinal twist. Arms in a T, gaze over your right shoulder. And breathe here. Scorpion, that's what it's called. I'm happy I remember that. And then bring both knees back into your chest. So left ankle is going to come to right thigh, hands are going to wrap around right thigh. So that's option one. Both feet flex. Maybe you draw that whole setup into you, closer to you. So you're finding your edge and then you're softening into it, wherever your edge is. If this isn't your edge, then you're going to bring right hand to your foot, left hand to the knee, or even work it into the elbow, right? Then maybe the right leg is going to straighten out, or it's going to lower all the way to the floor, right? So it's stepping to your edge and softening. And a lot of when I'm learning about working with trauma, it's this idea called the window of tolerance. So it's trying to stay within that window of tolerance. And maybe that means you just have to tap your foot in a little bit and then move out, right? It's not all at once. But how do we come to that edge? How do we look at the monster with the yellow eyes? Because the alternatives are not really living. So release whatever you have going on in your hip and float this left knee all the way across into a spinal twist. Arms in your feet, gaze over your left shoulder. And soften. And then bring your knees back together, and we're going to slowly lower the legs down and prepare for your Shavasana. So close your eyes. This is the time where we let go of the body. We possibly need to dabble into the window of tolerance in the mind. The choice that we can make to consciously live with what is. Right? To meet our edge with compassion. To soften. There's this beautiful imagery that I keep thinking about. This idea that the heart really has two choices. It can close off, or it can break open. When you think about the term heartbreak, but what if we add the open after the heartbreak? The heart breaks open, meaning we get to feel all of the joys, just like we feel the sorrow. But we get to feel all of it. And that's a gift. So soften into your heart that has opened, hopefully broken open, and is open now. Slowly, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And stretch your arms all the way over your head, nice and long. And then draw your knees into your chest. And make your way slowly onto your right side. And then find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to your heart or to your knees. Close your eyes. Let's sit together in one final moment of meditation. Just noticing the breath can help us soften. When we meet challenges in our world, how do we come to our edge and soften? Meet whatever it is with compassion. And through that softening, we actually get stronger. Our vulnerability strengthens us. Bring your left hand to your heart, stack your right hand on top of your left. It's my honor and pleasure to guide you always in your practice. Namaste. Thank you guys.